In front of me, I have two identical chainsaws. The only difference is this one is brand new out the box, but this one has done 200 hours work. And the question is, does it make a difference once chainsaws are run in? So today, we're gonna find out. So there's one chainsaw that has been requested in the comment section of all of our chainsaw videos again and again and again. It is the ECHO CS7310 SX. This saw has been requested time and time again by you guys wanting us to feature it on our channel. Well, now's the chance, because not only do we have one, but we have two. As I said, this one, brand new out the box. We'll see how it performs. This one has done 200 hours of work already. ECHO have sent them both to us to review. Now, the nice thing about doing this with ECHO is that they are probably the one saw that everyone says they are a completely different animal once they've been run in. And ECHO even admit that themselves. Now, being that this is ECHO's largest production saw that they make, a perfect logger's favourite, as I keep being told that we need to compare it against some others on the market as well, which I'm sure we will do in the future. But today, let's go round and have a look at the features and benefits on this saw first, before we then go out and do some logging and compare them against each other. Right, so starting with the construction of the saw, we'll look at the recoil housing, which isn't aluminium, it isn't plastic, it's actually magnesium. Now, they do that to keep weight down. I don't think there's another magnesium recoil start housing on the market, but that's not the only thing that's magnesium. Also, the full crankcase, the actual whole engine housing is also magnesium built, but it doesn't stop there, because the clutch cover on this side, again, is all made of magnesium, just to keep that weight down. The main part of the body of the saw on the back end of the handle and the fuel tank is all made of high quality plastic, and as is the top cover, which we will go in underneath there in a minute, because there's some very clever technology in there I want to show you. Right, so onto the cutting equipment, and this is fitted with a 3/8 by 1.5mm 84 drive link chain on a 24-inch bar, and look at it, isn't it beautiful? But I think one of the nicest standout features on this saw are the felling spikes. Now, most saws come with the ones on the inside, but the CS7310 comes as standard with the extra on the outside as well, so you don't need to buy that separately. But with these, on other saws, they do seem a little bit tame. These nice, chunky, aggressive looking spikes, not like some of the custom ones you can get, which some of them look a little bit silly. I think this is a nice happy medium on there. Now, coming back to that beautiful magnesium clutch cover on the side, is also got captive nuts. So if you undo your nuts, they don't fall out on the floor into the mud and tread them in and you lose them. They're all captive. So once you undo these, they don't come out. They're actually fixed into the housing. Another nice little feature on here as well, compared to others, is your chain catcher on the bottom of your felling spike here. So that there is actually a chain catching wheel rather than, should we say, a little tab like on others on the market, which I think is just a little bit more safer, a little bit better quality. So when your obviously chain comes off, comes back around there, it can catch that one, comes back through for your rubber flap here, and then obviously you've got your hand guard on the back, standard with any other saw. You have got an inbound clutch on this rather than outbound clutch, which I do like. Inbound clutch in out of the way, it creates a lot less weight and inertia on that side of the saw, we find. So I quite like that. Let us know in the comments, are you an outbound clutch person or an inbound clutch? Obviously, all of your anti-vibe mounts and springs all the way around the chainsaw, as you would expect. So controls on the back. You have got a choke you just pull out like so, and choke you can push in like so. Now this here, which I actually thought was a priming bulb when I first saw it, isn't a priming bulb or a purge bulb. It is a stop button. So it just automatically goes back to start. So once you start the saw, you can just press that to stop it and then release, and it's all there ready to start again. Standard triggers on it. It's got quite a nice little movement on the trigger, I find. So rather than it coming in under there, actually you can see that trigger there, it sort of comes up and round on more of a sort of a circular motion rather than a flat motion. That's probably not exactly the right terminology, but we'll go with that. And you've got your carb adjustments, because this is just a standard carburettor, one you can adjust. There's no electronics in this carb like you have with other saws on the market of this size, which I think is quite popular with those more historic logging guys out there. So let's have a look in underneath this top cover, because there's some clever technology going on in there. Now, other saws on the market have got some easy off clips. ECHO doesn't have that, but I'd say this is a very robust design. Now, it does actually look like you've got screws here to undo, but it's actually not. All you've got to do is just turn them round, he says, one way, just a quarter of a turn there, quarter of a turn there, and quarter of a turn there. Now, obviously, everyone's got a chainsaw spanner in their pocket or with them, so it's easy to take off. And off it comes. And that, yeah, that is robust. There's hardly any flex in that piece of plastic at all. I do like it. Right, air filtration, because this is where it gets clever. So there you'll see the flywheel going around, which is forcing air up through this little tube, but at the same time it is pushing debris back out the side of the recoil starter. Then once it comes up through this tube, so the air is forced up through here, and as you can see, there's actually a little gap at the top. Now, the idea of that is that any debris that is still left in the system is going to be pushed up through that hole and back out of the saw, whereas the clean air is being pushed up through here into this circular area. Now, as you can see, that air comes through that port there, which then gets forced around here in sort of a cyclone motion, forcing, again, any debris to stay on the outside using centrifugal force. So that centrifugal force is holding any tiny particles left on the outside and the clean air on the inside, then allowing it to go into the air filter. And I've got to say, that's what I call a proper air filter. None of these little clips and funny little designs. A good old-fashioned round air filter. So that's the 4 stages of air filtration on this ECHO chainsaw. You've got it coming up through from the flywheel, cleaning it once. It then comes through the tube here on the top of the engine cover, which gets cleaned again as it comes round with that centrifugal force that's being cleaned there. And then the 4th is down on the actual air filter itself. Moving on to the power, we have got a 73.5 cc engine, which is pushing out 4.1 kilowatts of power. Now, the saw, without the cutting equipment on the front, weighs in at 6.7 kilograms. Now, in my head, that adds up to a pretty good power to weight ratio. Without the electronics on it, as we have with other saws of this size, with that engine, with the weight, with the cutting equipment on, does that make for the perfect logging saw? Well, we'll find out shortly. There's a couple more things I want to show you. Now, you may know that one thing that either impresses me or doesn't is how you access your filler caps. Now, this has got, it's like a lever you lift up, so you've got plenty of leverage to undo these if you've got thick gloves on or got fat fingers. Nice, and it's exactly the same on the oil tank side as well. And a nice visible felling sight right the way across the top of the saw. Now, I think that's enough waffling on about the specs. I think we better go outside and test it, because we're going to try it with the 24-inch bars and chains and the 20-inch to see what the difference is between this and the other one that's done 200 hours work already. Right, so I'm going to refer to the saw that's done 200 hours work as the old saw and the brand new one as the new saw for reference. Let's do some warm-up cuts through this. Well, to be fair, very hard, dry ash to start with. You know, nothing like putting it into something fairly difficult to begin with. And we've got some greener stuff to do the time test with in a moment. So let's do 3 cuts each with each saw to start with, and then do some timed cuts. Old saw first. All right, choke, start her up. Oh, we've already got a fire. she is some singing. That's a beautiful saw to use now. I've never used a 7310 before, and it's definitely putting a smile on my face. Being the old saw, that's how I'd expect it to run, you know, once it's run in. But how much different is the new saw? Let's find out. Let's do it. Right, out with the choke. 2 pulls on that one. I know it's pulling a bigger bar and chain, but there is a massive difference. I didn't think it would feel quite so much of a difference. Right, let's set up for a time test to see what the true difference is. Right, so we've got a beautiful bit of green ash now. I think it'll be a fairer test to be able to do that. So we're going to use the new saw first with the bigger bar, and then put the bigger bar on the older saw, and see what the time difference is. And then if we feel the need, we'll change and put the smaller bars on as well. See what the difference is then. Got a bigger bit of timber? I think this will do. Good average size bit of timber. What's that? 18 inches across there, 14 inches across there. A good size average bit of ash. What more could you wish for? Right, let's try it with a short bar and see how much difference that makes. You can definitely feel the difference. I don't know what the exact times are, you've just seen the times. I'm now going to just tidy up these pieces of timber, and then I'm going to check out the times, and then we'll round it up. So ECHO state how good this 4-stage filtration system is. I suppose we better give it a go really, haven't we? Because obviously it's brand new before we came out of today. So we've done some sawing with it already. We're going to start it up now, throw a load of sawdust in at that recoil starter housing where the air is pulled in from. And then we'll, in a minute in the studio, we'll take off that cover and see what's inside. I think that's as good a test as any, isn't it, hey? Let's go and check it out. Right, so I got some times. So with the long bar on it, a 24-inch bar on both saws, the new saw was 16 seconds 16. The old saw was 12 seconds 20. So yeah, well, 4 seconds difference between a saw which is running compared to a saw which is brand new. Very interesting. On the short bar, not quite such a big gap. New saw pulling the short bar was 1604 and the old saw was 1509, still quicker. So it definitely shows a saw that's running is going to be better than a saw which is brand new. So Echo are bang on that this saw needs to be running and give it a chance. Take it right out of the box, you might feel that you're a bit disappointed with it. Was I disappointed? No, I wasn't disappointed at all. But going over to the old saw, you could certainly tell the difference. Just the sweetness of the engine, and obviously you could feel the cutting speed. Everything was just a lot smoother. So yeah, big difference there. Right, I think we better open up the case. Open up the covers on the new saw, because that's where we chucked the sawdust in just now, and see what's inside. Let's see what's going on in here. So there we go. You can see where obviously the sawdust has come up through from the flywheel, pushed in through here, and it's pushing it out through there. It's started to build up on that corner, away from where it is, but obviously the air circulating, it's still got to go somewhere, but it stopped it going up into here to get that centrifugal force, which has then pushed it onto here. Now there's actually very little inside here at all. There's a little tiny bit on the outside of the filter, up here on the top side I can see, but the main bit is how much is going to be in it. Obviously, sawdust isn't going to go into it. We've probably just done the equivalent of about probably 100 hours work into there. So let's have a look. There isn't any in there, and there isn't any in there. That bit just fell in from the outside, so that's not actually. But yeah, inside that filter, beautifully clean look. So there goes to show that the Echo 4-stage filtration system isn't just a load of marketing blurb, it actually works. I've got to say, I am a big fan of the Echo build quality. It reflects right through their range, from chainsaws, brush cutters, trimmers, multi-tools, whatever they make. It has always been very well made. You look at that air filter in it, it just looks proper. The build quality, the extras they've gone to, it's magnesium all the way around on that saw, and the plastics on it are absolutely fantastic. And one thing I can say about Echo is they're not always trying to reinvent the wheel. Yes, they have jumped on the battery bandwagon. They'd have to. That is where a lot of product is going now, so they've done that. But with their true core saws, they haven't electrified the carburetors. They haven't had to, so you've got to plug a computer into it. They've kept it simple, kept true to their word. And it's very similar across a lot of Japanese companies, is that once they make something that is good, as long as it stays up to regulation, they don't generally change it, which I think has got a lot to be said for it. So what I'd like to know from you is what your experience is with Echo chainsaws. You have asked us again and again to feature this very saw on our channel. So let us know in the comments below. We will be bringing some videos with it using and log levers very soon, so make sure you stay tuned for that. But let us know in the comments. We'll see you in the next one. Cheerio.